Hi everyone, welcome to English for You. I'm Kat.
I'm Elsie.
And today we're talking about being clean. Well, no, we're not. We're talking about soap.
We're talking about soap?
Yay, soap!
What's happened to soap?
Nothing's happened to soap. We still have soap.
Then why do we need to talk about it? It's so normal to have soap.
But not for everybody. And
Really?
Actually, sometimes you think about there's so much soap out there and some of it gets just wasted, doesn't it? You think about, you go to a hotel, you go to I don't know, or you think of when your soap bar at home gets really, really small, what do you do with it? You just kind of sometimes you throw it away, or I try and use it up, but it gets really hard after it gets to be too small. But anyway, yeah, soap can be a little more complicated than we think.
Okay, so we're going to recycle the
Yes.
soap that we don't want.
We're talking about how to not waste soap and a company that's helping to reduce soap waste through these different ways. So this might seem like a weird topic at first, but it's going to make sense once we get into the article. Let's go ahead and find out more.
Reading. Recycled soap helps people and the environment. When you check out of a hotel or motel, you might wonder what happens to the soap. Free bars of soap typically come with many hotel rooms. Because most travelers only stay for a short time, the extra soap is left behind. Sadly, this extra soap is usually thrown in the trash, creating waste. Sean Seipler traveled a lot, and this waste was something that he noticed. It became the reason why he started Clean the World in 2009. Clean the World is the largest organization that recycles hotel soap to save lives. Companies sign up online to take part in the program. These companies are sent boxes to collect products left behind by guests. Once the box is full, it's shipped to one of Clean the World's 8 warehouses around the world. When the used soap arrives at the warehouse, it is filtered and all bacteria is removed. Experts feel the soap to make sure it has the right moisture level. After that, it goes to manufacturing. Samples are regularly sent to a lab to test for cleanliness.
All right, so our article begins with a question. When you check out of a hotel or motel, you might wonder, what happens to the soap? Yeah, so anytime you go to, a hotel, a motel, a place where you stay temporarily, they usually have a little bar of soap, right? And it's just for the current guest to use. Nobody uses it after you. And so you wonder what happens to it when you check out of your room. You check out of some place, it means you leave it after you are finished staying there. So when you're checking in, it means you are coming to the hotel or motel and you're saying, I want a room or I have a reservation. And then after you're finished, you check out. You check out of the hotel. And in this case, we're checking out of a motel. A motel sounds like a hotel. It's kind of similar. It's a place that is next to a road and has rooms for people to stay in, especially when they're traveling by car. So in America, there are a lot of these because there are a lot of people who take car trips or road trips. So motels actually are short for mobile hotel. So it's just basically the rooms are outside. The doors to the rooms are outside next to the parking lot. It's very easy to get to from your car. And so an example sentence might be, on our car trip to California, we stopped at a motel to rest for the night.
To check out of something, 那就是在办理退房手续、结账离开某处。所以你要退房的时候，你说你要 check out。那如果是你要办理入住，你说 check in。好，你要做 check in 的动作，也就是你要 check into a hotel。那这边讲到的是 motel， 也就是汽车旅馆。所以你在离开 hotel 或 motel 的时候，你会不会想过这个问题 ？What happens to the soap? It means what happens to it after I leave, right?
Yeah, exactly. Does it just disappear into a bunch of bubbles?
Or should I bring it home?
Might be a good idea.
Should I take it?
I often do. But anyway, free bars of soap typically come with many hotel rooms. That's true because people need to wash their hands. I think maybe they use liquid soap a lot now too. But of course, bar soap, which is solid soap, is often what you find in hotel rooms. A bar of soap, right?
没错，所以呢 soap 这个字是不可数的。那你要说一个香皂，那就是 a bar of soap。那这边是复数型 bars of soap。
And you can say soaps. You can count soaps, but only for like different kinds. Like liquid and bar soap are kinds of soaps. Now the article continues, because most travelers only stay for a short time, the extra soap is left behind. So a traveler only stays for a short time. This is a person who is traveling or who travels often. Well, if you're wondering what travel means, they go on trips. They go to different places. Maybe they're going for business. Maybe they're going for a vacation. Maybe they're going for another reason like just because they like to work in different places. So travelers are people who are traveling, who are taking a trip. That's why they stay in motels. So for example, you could say, this hotel sees many travelers go through, from business people to families on vacation. And what happens to the soap that is used for those travelers? The extra soap gets left behind. They leave the place, but the thing does not. So, like you put it down, it stays there after you leave. You leave it behind.
Traveler 好在说的是旅客，那它是由 travel 加上 er 变来的字。Travel 当然就是旅游旅行。那再来呢 leave something behind 代表的是遗留或是留下。所以课文说到旅客离开之后多出来的香皂就被遗留下来了。这边你看到的是被动态。那再给同学们一个例句哦。For example, after the parade, a lot of trash was left behind. 代表游行之后很多垃圾都被遗留了下来。
So travelers leave a lot of soap behind. Imagine all that soap. I mean, you think of all the rooms in a hotel, each one of them has at least one soap bar. What happens to them? The article says, sadly, this extra soap is usually thrown in the trash, creating waste. Waste, of course, is garbage, unused stuff. Like the soap that you don't use goes in the trash. That's unfortunate.
Waste 指的就是垃圾。那这些被遗留下来的香皂当然就变成垃圾，因为不会有人要再使用它。Nobody else will use it.
Exactly. So the article goes on to talk about what we're talking about mainly in recycling. Sean Seipler traveled a lot, and this waste was something that he noticed.
Sean Seipler 他就注意到了这样的状况 so he's gonna do something about it.
That's right. It became the reason why he started Clean the World in 2009.
那这里呢，我们看到了 language in focus, the reason why 表原因的用法。The reason why 或是 the reason that 加上主词以及一个动词，可以用来表示呢某件事情的原因。其中的 why 它是一个关系副词，引导形容词子句，修饰先行词的 reason。那这个用法当中的 why 它可以省略哦，或是用 that 来替代。那第一个呢 the reason why 或是 that 加上主词加动词，可以当补语或受词哦。像是在这样的句子里面 I don't know the reason why my cat doesn't want to sit on my lap or lie on my body. 我不知道为什么我的猫不想要坐在我的腿上或躺在我的身上。当然你也可以说 I don't know the reason that 也是可以的。在第二种 the reason why 或是 the reason that 加上主词以及一个动词，还可以当作主词来使用哦。后方常常会搭配一个作为主词补语的 that 名词子句。For example, the reason why or the reason that she's crying is that somebody stole her bike. 那前面的 why 或 that 你可以省掉，后面的那个 that 也是可以省的。那这句在说的就是她在哭是因为有人偷走了她的脚踏车。
Clean the World is the largest organization that recycles hotel soap to save lives. Interesting. So the world's largest means there's more than one, but this is the biggest. So it's a big organization. It's a company or a business or a club or something like it that is formed for a particular purpose. So an organization is just a group of people who come together to form like a company, like I said, to address something. So an organization could be a charity where they're trying to help people who need it. An organization could be a small business. It could be a large business. Anything where people are working together for a certain reason is an organization. So, for example, you could say, our organization helps collect toys to give to children in need. So, what are they using this organization for? They are using it to recycle soap. Recycle means make something new from something old. So, something that has been used before. This soap is all used by hotel guests, or at least it's put in hotel rooms to be used by those guests. And then it is recycled, means that it's made new again.
好，那我们这边看到呢 Clean the World 这个组织这个机构，那我们英文用的是 organization 这个字。那他们是一个怎么样的机构呢？它是借由回收香皂拯救生命的大型机构。好，所以呢我们看到形容词子句从 that 到 soap 结束。所以回到课文来再说一次哦 Clean the World 是回收香皂的最大组织机构。
That's right. So, how do you get the soap recycled? Companies sign up online to take part in the program. To take part in something is to participate in it or be a part of it. So if you own a hotel or it's a chain of motels, something like that, they can sign up online for their soap to be recycled.
没错，那 take part in something 就是参加参与某事情，像是你可以说啊 You should come with us and take part in the game. 你应该要跟我们来一起参加比赛的。
These companies are sent boxes to collect products left behind by guests. So a product here is something that is made or grown to be sold or used. Of course, hotels, Airbnbs, motels, they always, well, not always, but usually they will have some kind of things that people can use that are just for one time, like toothbrushes and shampoo bottles and soap, things like that. And they might leave them behind. So all of these things are products, and products are just basically anything that's made to be used. So for example, you could say Ariel uses a few different products to keep her skin looking good.
Product 这个字代表就是产品。
Right, and once the box is full, it's shipped to one of Clean the World's 8 warehouses around the world. A warehouse is a large building used for storing goods. If you ever see, like, Amazon has many, many warehouses across the US and probably other places in the world too, where they have so many different things that are stored there and then they're shipped to other people. Other companies that make and then use a lot of products will also have warehouses where they can store those things.
Warehouse 指的就是仓库，所以像是那些大型的量贩店啊，或是网络上面大型的店家，都需要有 warehouse 仓库来存放他们的 products 产品。
When the used soap arrives at the warehouse, it is filtered and all bacteria is removed. I'm glad to see that. It's sanitary. It is filtered. To filter something means to pass something through a filter, which is an object with, like, a mesh or something like that, to remove something you don't want. So, like, most people in Taiwan probably drink filtered water. Either you boil it to get rid of the bacteria, or you put it through a device like a Brita to get rid of all the stuff that makes your water kind of taste bad or makes it, like, not safe to drink. Those are filters. Or you put coffee through a filter to make, the drink coffee. Yeah, things like that, where you filter something and you get rid of all the stuff you don't want. And in this case, that's bacteria. Bacteria are a group of very small living things. You can't see them, and sometimes they cause disease. In this case, we're making sure that the bacteria that is removed is the kind that does cause disease or can cause, people to feel unclean. And bacteria, here's an interesting fact, is plural. So the singular version is bacterium. But because there are always millions of them, we pretty much never use the singular unless we're literally looking at one bacterium. So bacteria, you also have a lot of these on your body. Not all of them are bad. Some of them are bad, but a lot of them are not bad. It depends on the species. Here's an example sentence. If you look at this drop of water under a microscope, you can see all the bacteria swimming in it.
OK， 那看回来呢，我们要讲到 used 这个字，形容词代表用过的、旧的。所以当这些旧的香皂抵达仓库的时候，会被过滤，还好有被过滤、被清洁。 filter 这边当动词用，代表是过滤。那在课文当中呢，做的是被动态 ，it is filtered。好，你会看到被动的形式出现。那再来呢，刚刚 Kat 有讲到很多 filter 其他的解释，还有一个是滤镜。好 ，on your cell phone, on your smartphone, you can put filters on your pictures.
That's true.
你可以放滤镜。好，再来 bacteria 代表细菌，那单数形式 bacterium。
The article goes on to say experts feel the soap to make sure it has the right moisture level. Ooh, soap feeling. What a job. So to make...
use your hands?
I guess they do, probably. Yeah. I mean, I guess they probably use gloves because if they put their bare hands on it, then more bacteria will be introduced. So you probably have to use gloves. So they make sure it has the right moisture level. To make sure means to find out or do something so that you have no doubt about whether that's correct. So if it has the right levels, you have to make sure. It's like, I'm going to feel the soap. Okay, it's kind of hard. This one's kind of soft. The hard one is not moist enough. Doesn't have the right moisture. Moisture is a small amount of liquid, such as water, that makes something wet or soft. So, in the case of maybe your skin, if you have enough moisture in your skin, then your skin will not be dry. It will be, soft and it will feel good and it won't be itchy and it won't have like lots of little flakes coming off. That's why it's so important to have moisture in your life. Or moisture in the air makes you sweat, makes you feel wet. Moisture in bread, for example. You want your bread to not be super dry.
Also your chicken.
Chicken? Yeah, I mean,
your meat.
If you have meat that's really, really dry and doesn't have enough moisture, it can be really tough to eat.
Right.
Any food is like that too. So you want to have a little bit of moisture in any of those things. So for an example sentence, you could say, some moisture started to form on the outside of the glass of cold water.
Moisture 指的就是水分或是湿气，所以这边还有专家 experts 过来呢，确保香皂的湿度是适当的。他们一摸一触碰就知道了。那 make sure 代表的是确保。那再给同学们一个例句 ，Please make sure he knows that I called。请你确保他知道我有打过来。
So they test the soap, they filter it. After that, it goes to manufacturing. Samples are regularly sent to a lab to test for cleanliness. Manufacturing is this first one, so it goes to manufacturing. And manufacturing is the process of producing goods in factories. So yeah, manufacturing is where you make stuff. And because this is recycled soap doesn't mean that it's ready to go. It has to go through a whole process. And this, includes making it back into an actual bar of soap. It goes to a lab, or samples go to a lab. And a lab is short for laboratory. That's a room or a building that has a lot of equipment for doing scientific experiments and tests. So, of course, they need to make sure the soap is clean, that they're not new bacteria or viruses or things like that are coming onto it. They're testing for cleanliness. So that's the state of being clean. Now, with C-L-E-A-N, usually you'd say clean, like E. But with this word, you say clean, like cleanliness. Because we don't want to say cleanliness. It's a little too hard. It's cleanliness.
所以 clean 形容词或是动词清洁，不过呢，洁净度是 cleanliness。好，那再来刚刚看到的 manufacturing 代表的是制造，是个名词，还有 lab 是实验室。所以这边说最后还要送到实验室测試清洁度，要通过才可以让这个香皂再回到人们的手上。
Right. So that's all we know from day one. We're basically in the middle of the process of recycling soap. And then when it's recycled, they probably send it back out to other hotels. They can do things like sell it or maybe give it away to people. It really depends. I mean, it depends on people's needs. So I think this is a really cool initiative. It's a really cool organization. In day 2, we're going to learn about some other things that Clean the World does. But for now, that's the end of day 1. Let's go to our For You chat.
For You chat.
All right, our chat question for today. Would you be willing to use a bar of recycled soap? Why or why not?
I would not.
Really? Why?
Okay, I would.
I'm trying to think, why would you not? I mean, I guess if you're concerned that it might not be clean.
Right. It's just thinking that it's something left by somebody somewhere
Because, okay,
after they used it.
recycled is different from used for me. If it's a used bar of soap, like if it's one in a public bathroom, sometimes I find that really gross and I don't want to use that.
Yeah.
But if it's recycled, and it sounds like they're really, really careful about making sure the soap is clean. So
Yeah.
I have no problem with that.
Okay,
Yeah.
but still, you're gonna get worried.
Nah, I don't.
No, you don't.
No, because like any soap maker, even if the soap is brand new, they still have to test it that same way. You know, whether something is new from the factory or recycled from a factory, it can still get contaminated. So like I don't think there's a bigger chance of it being bad for me than if it's new.
But would you use it on your whole body?
Sure,
Or
why
just
not?
on your hands? If it's on my hands, I think it's okay.
If I was going to use it on my whole body, it's not about if it's recycled or not. It's about, is it good for my skin? Because I have sensitive skin. I have eczema
so you need to
and
be
stuff
careful
like that.
with
Yeah,
this stuff.
I have to use soap that's like really gentle.
Yeah.
So that sort of thing is what I worry about.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's the end of day 1. We'll see you for day 2 where we'll talk more about Clean the World and some other good things they are doing. So we'll see you then. Bye.
Bye.
Vocabulary Review.
Motel. After we drove for 15 hours, we parked our car and slept in a motel all night. Traveler. About 1 million travelers pass through the city's airport and its main train station every day. Organization. Annie and her neighbors formed an organization that helps fix old houses in the area. Product. Nike sells shoes, but it also has other products such as t-shirts, pants, and backpacks. Bacteria. Before you eat, you should wash your hands with soap to remove the bacteria. Moisture. After my shower, I had to wipe the moisture from my mirror so I could see myself in it.
智慧小补帖。
Recycle. Warehouse. Filter. Manufacturing. Lab. Cleanliness.
以上节目是由活用空中美语制作，活用空中美语杂志，请洽询全国各大书店。如欲索取试听教材，请来电02-2364-4000 02-2364-4000，或上网查询，网址是 www.english4u.net www.english4u.net